Marhaba to Wine Roots. Welcome. I'm here today with my friend Emile Nasrallah. Welcome, Emile.
مرحب.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, but let me start with a better welcome for you.
Okay,
I'm gonna use 3 languages. Are you ready for this?
go for it.
Okay. Hi. كيفك؟ Ça va?
صباح الحمد لله أنت كيف؟
Oh. Wow, what's that about? Why 3 languages?
3 languages: French, Arabic, English.
Uh-huh.
Coming from Lebanon. I'm from Lebanon.
Okay.
So I'm from Lebanon, from a region called West Bekaa Valley, from a small village called Farmishki.
Uh-huh.
Very small village. We call it the village of immigration because we have more than 4,500 persons of this village out of Lebanon, and especially in Canada. And now like the population in our village is like around 300-400% maximum.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we call it the village of immigration.
Nice. And Emile, now we're recording here in Bordeaux.
Yeah.
About to finish the first year of the master.
Yeah.
Where are you going after this year? What are your plans?
So after moving from Bordeaux, I'm going to Lebanon for a vacation, 1 month, and then after I'm gonna go for my internship in Limoux, south of France. And then after Limoux, I'm going to Italy, Udine, to continue my master too, in Vinifera Aero Master.
What a
program.
trip, no?
Yeah.
What a trip. And I think always I like to start with the beginning. And when does this idea to come into France became a reality for you? How does this started?
Okay, if I wanna go back like 5 years ago.
5 years ago, okay.
When I decided to start my agriculture engineer in the Lebanese university.
Okay.
I was just planning to finish my degree in agronomy and just work in Lebanon.
Okay.
But last year everything changed. It was a very fast plan. Like I met in summer 2023, I met a very good professor in the Lebanese university, and she was my supervisor after this. We met and I told her like I'm very interested to do a thesis with her in any topic, and mainly in grapevine.
Okay.
Because we work in viticulture and especially table grapes. I will go back to this story.
Yeah.
So I met her, and then I started my master's one in 2024, last year.
Last year, exactly. Yeah.
And I had a course with her. So the course is about arboriculture. So nothing about viticulture.
Uh-huh.
So during the classes, every time she's like explaining a topic about fruit trees or something like that, rootstocks, pruning system, training system, every time I raise my hand like, Professor, what do you think about a rootstock for grapevine? What do you think about pruning system for grapevine?
That you were already focusing all
grapevine. And then she was like, you're super interested to this this topic. So she told me like, when we finish the class, come to my office. I wanna like give you something.
Yeah.
So after the class, I went to the office and she told me like, go to your notes, write Vinifera Aero Master, and apply for it.
So she was the one who discovered, like, without her, you wouldn't know about vinifera.
No.
Okay.
Because it was not part of my plan. I never planned to go outside Lebanon. I was like, okay, I will finish my my thesis in Lebanon and then start working in a company or maybe in the vineyards.
Okay.
Who knows? But she was like, you're super interested to this industry. You have to go outside Lebanon, have a master's degree outside, and then it depends on you. Like if you wanna stay there, if you wanna come, if you wanna do a PhD or work in France.
Yeah.
That's your thing. So I was like, okay. I applied.
Okay.
But I got rejected for the first call.
So when this professor told that to you, like you need to apply, that was already focusing on wine, no?
Yeah.
Because vinifera is viticulture and enology.
Yeah.
But you have some background in the vineyard before, no?
Yeah, exactly. So for me, like I used to work with my father because my father has a lot of vineyards, and especially in table grapes.
Okay.
But at the same time, he works like he has a small winery, very small winery. He has one vineyard, which is Cabernet Sauvignon. He had some vintages from this vineyard. I tried to help him. He taught me how to make a wine.
Yes.
In the traditional way. Just harvest the grapes, crush them,
Yeah.
put them in the tank, wait for the fermentation, and then put the liquid again and just bottle them and
Yeah.
sell
Super
them. And that's
rustic.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So he was super interested, like my father was super interested in the wine industry. That's why he always like, if you wanna apply for something in the university, go for agronomy.
Okay.
That's what like was his advice for me. So always like, go for agronomy, and I want you to be expert in wine. I want to
Okay.
be like, you won't have to be a specialist in wine.
So your dad already like was canalized you to wine.
Like yeah, like always like, do you think you can do a wine masters or wine something, like
Nice.
study wine? I was like, maybe. I'm not so interested, but maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to this plan to my supervisor, and then I applied after this, and I told you I got rejected in the first call.
Yeah. But
But I was
Life.
like, okay. So I went to my father. I told him like, I applied for the masters for the wine and I got rejected. So he told me like, so what is the solution now? I told him like, okay, I will stay here, do my thesis with the supervisor, and finish my master's degree in Lebanon, and that's
and
it.
this was like maybe on February
That's yeah.
Yeah, like-
January, February, March
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
So he told me like, okay, what do you want now? I was like, I need a car. I need a car for my thesis because I have to collect data from the vineyards and so on. And he was like, okay, we can get a car. I got a car. I started my thesis for 6 months, and then in June
And you forgot about France. No?
I forgot about
Yeah.
France.
You already had the plan.
Yeah. I just
Executed,
forgot
yeah.
about it. So I went to the office of my supervisor to show her the report of the data collection and some data of the vineyards, climate change, and so on. So we finished the meeting, and then she was like, "So Emile, how's your preparation for France?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going. Like, I got rejected." And she was like, "No, they will send you an email and they will accept you, because there's a second call, and
Yeah.
I think you will be there." And I was like, "I don't think so." So I just ignored what she said. So I went back home, continue my stuff, working in my thesis. After 1 week, I got the email from Vinifera. They accepted me. So I called my father again. I told him like, I got accepted from the master's degree. What do you think? Should I go or should I stay? And then he was like, are you sure that this program is about wine? I was like, yeah, pretty sure. He was like, okay, go for it. But Dad, we need money. He was like, just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah. It's your future.
Yeah. So I sent them the confirmation, and I started running for my passport, visa,
Yeah, get
all
ready.
documents and papers.
Because that was what month of the year? Maybe in
This is in June, July.
in June.
Yeah,
And you arrived in France September 1st.
September 1st.
So
I was literally running, like, from Beirut to the village, from the village to Beirut, collecting the documents. And
Yeah.
it was like new for me because I never traveled. I never
Yeah.
went outside Lebanon.
Yeah.
So, but I did it.
yeah, when you tell me the story for the first time a couple months ago, I was like, man, this is like exactly the best example of when it's meant to be,
Yeah.
it will be. No matter if you do so much and you try, if it's not gonna be for you,
It's not yours.
ignore it. Yeah.
Just ignore it.
And if you maybe don't do a lot, but you apply, you do what you have to do, and then it's for you, it's like, man, take it, go all in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's
good
what-
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after, when you started doing that, what was your feeling? Were you excited to come to France? What were you expecting? Because it was your first time outside your Lebanon, your country, and your friends.
I was excited because for me it was a dream to travel, to go outside Lebanon. Like
Okay.
I always thought about like going from Lebanon, see another countries, like study in another country or like this. So I was like excited for this, but in the same time, like usually people will be sad when they go out of their country.
Yeah.
I was not sad at all because I was like, it was my first experience.
Yeah.
and I was like, it's 2 years. It's not like too long, but it's too long for me now. Like I feel like I've been out of Lebanon like for
A whole
5
life,
years.
a whole life, yeah.
So I was not sad. I was like excited for that because it's a new experience. I'm gonna study something that I like, which is grapes, vineyards, wine. Even if I was like not so much interested in the wine industry, but now everything changed. So yeah.
And then you come to France, you met this crazy group full of international people
Yeah.
from all over the world, having class every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Exams, going to Lebanese restaurants, having Christmas like in different parts of the world. How this experience has been for you this first year?
Honestly, like it was my first time I had such a experience in a university. It's true that I was in a university and I was like having classes and so on, but I never got attached to the class or the people in the class.
Okay.
I know I have a lot of friends from my university and I'm waiting for them. They are waiting for me also. I'm super close to them, of course, but there's something different in France or like in our class,
in our group. Yeah.
in our group. And also there's a story. I told you that I want to tell you this only in the podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I got accepted to Vinifera and I joined the WhatsApp group for the Vinifera connections, I was like super curious about people of the masters, like who I'm gonna meet when I go. So I was like, okay, let me check the profile pictures for the contacts in the WhatsApp group. So I went to the contacts and I started looking at each one. I saw Moro, I saw Patrick, I saw...
And can you know just by the picture what country they were from, or...?
No, but I will tell you like what I saw.
Okay.
I will just talk about you because that's the point.
Okay.
So I saw you. You had a profile picture with your brother in the Napa Valley.
Yeah.
And I saw you like super tall. I looked at your face. I was like, I had a feeling that I feel like I will be very close to this guy.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, since the beginning.
I feel like this guy will be one of my friends, like in the class, the most closest friends.
Okay.
And that's what happened.
Just by the picture, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I remember the photo like with your brother in the Napa Valley. Yeah. It's certain like the most famous wine region in the world.
Yeah.
I still remember I was still focusing in the picture.
Yeah, the Napa Valley.
And it happened.
Yes. Inshallah.
Inshallah khair.
Inshallah khair. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, it happened. Yeah. For me, it's crazy how, we all came from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
With different backgrounds, different stories. And we all have to go through this process of applying.
Yeah.
The interview, get your documents, find a place to stay, find the tickets, get the money. And we all, even though we're so different, we are working towards the same passion, goal. And when we get together, it's really nice to see different perspective in the same industry.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
And also when I remember, because we are now in Bordeaux, we finished everything in Montpellier.
Yeah.
When I remember the class, the city, Montpellier, the people there, even I'm still there, I'm still here with all the people from the masters, but always when I remember Montpellier, I want to go back.
No, Montpellier is special.
Yeah, I want to go back. I want to fail some module and go back.
Yeah,
even with
Montpellier
new people, but I want to go back to this class.
Yeah.
Because you know that during exams, every time we finish the class at 5, I stay in the class.
No, you stay.
A lot of people stay also.
To 1 a.m. you stay.
Yeah, like in the last exam, the previous one, we were staying in the classroom until 1 a.m. just to have fun. Okay. It's our last day.
No, sometimes I get so tired of that classroom. I just wanna go for a run or go to the library because all day there. Yeah. But even what is crazy, Emile, that I really appreciate this from you and the Lebanese community in Montpellier.
Yeah.
Is that for me, also being in France, it was my first experience, really international experience. Mm-hmm. Because when I was in the US, yes, I have a lot of people from Colombia, Costa Rica, Brazil, Spain, friends, but not a lot from the Middle East or from like Ireland, sorry, Chile, you know. And now that I'm here, I was so excited to see a great community of people from Lebanon that you guys also get together. And even though you're from different parts of the country, when you were in Montpellier, you were like really close, and I really felt like home when we were around.
Yeah, because like you saw the Lebanese people in Montpellier, like my friends.
Yeah.
Maybe you will think for the first moment that we've been friends also in Lebanon.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are not. Yeah. Like we met in Montpellier and we got attached again, and then we started hang outing and going out, going to the church, going to have lunch together Sundays.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And also a fun story that I didn't know about this until Anna told me about this. That when you were having an interview for the master, we sent a link, and the professors are there waiting for the link. So when you joined the
no, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
So okay. I entered the interview. I started my interview with the two professors, and everything was fine. And after like in the last 5 minutes or maybe last 2 minutes, I saw someone like enter the Zoom meeting, and then the camera was open, and I saw Anna, and she saw me. We were like, what are you doing here? Because no one she doesn't know that I'm applying, and I don't know like she's applying.
Yeah, but we need context. Who is Anna?
Anna is she's one of my, let's say, cousins from Lebanon, from the same village, Farmishki.
Doing the master.
In the master. Yeah. We are both from the same village, same country, and the same master.
Yeah, and you guys didn't know you both were applying for this.
We just saw each other in the interview.
Yeah.
And we were like, ooh.
Incredible, man. And then, Emile, so you told me your dad already had table grapes.
Yeah.
And you're the agronomist.
Yeah.
For you, what represent like the nature, the vineyards? Because vineyard agronomist is not only about grapes; it's about everything, and you have like a big image and conscious about what's going on with the nature and to the food production.
Yeah.
So you always were really close to the farming process of your family vineyard. How was like your childhood in the vineyards and in your village?
So when I was a child, like when I started like back to 15, 16 years, my father was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
He come to the house like twice per week.
Yeah.
And he had like some vineyards. He started from zero.
Okay.
Like growing grapes and start selling for traders to export the grapes outside.
Yeah.
So he had like a few hectares, not few hectares, also like half hectare of grapevine table grapes. He started from there, and at the same time he was in the military. But he started growing slowly, and he saved a lot of money in that period, like back to 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So he started saving money in his bank account, and then in 2000, before that, like I used to go with him to the vineyard just to see him working, see the workers, and see the whole process. But I was like little child, I can't work. And in that day, like the workers were doing some defoliation in the vineyards, and I was like, okay, I'm looking at them. I was with my father, so I told him like, Dad, can I help them? Can I try to do defoliation for one vine? And he was like, no, you're super short, you can't do it. I was like, yeah, I can try. He was like, okay, try. So he left for 15 minutes. I started defoliation for the first vine, because you have to do defoliation for table grapes, because it's a pergola training system. So you have to take the leaves to clean the vine from unwanted leaves and to aerate the vine.
Cluster,
So I started doing this because I used to see workers doing it for 3 years. So I was like very interested to do it.
And you wanted to do it?
I want to do it. So I started, and he came back in 15 minutes, and he saw it, and he was like, you did this? I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, starting from tomorrow morning, you will wake up early and you'll start going for the workers and do that defoliation process.
And you did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
After this, I regret it because it's very boring treatment. Like
Okay.
a practice, very boring practice.
But also can get, when I was working in Napa doing that, defoliation, it can get like a type of meditation. You know, because you're there,
yeah, just
doing the same job.
Yeah.
And after 2 hours, you have to pay attention on what you're doing, but you get a pace. You're just there in the nature. You start thinking.
Well,
so peaceful.
We used to do it for 7 hours per day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it was like, it's not like hard, but it's boring.
Yeah.
You can't speak. You have to focus on the vine, and like you have to work by yourself.
Yes, yeah.
And that's it. It's just boring.
For me, one of the most beautiful memories that I had, because my first year working in the vineyards, it was really tough, really tough for me. A lot of people bully me because I was the new guy, super tall.
Okay.
I was the slowest. There were people who've been working in the vineyards for 30 years, and I just came my first day, never saw a vine in my life. I didn't know what to do. They were making fun of me. And after 1 month, I was part of the crew. They saw that I actually want to learn, and I was willing to work hard, and I won the respect of the people.
Yeah.
And it was really hard at the beginning, but then I have this image. One of the first weeks, I was like, "Oh, my head hurts," and they were like, "Yeah, because of the sun. You need to keep drinking water. Use your big sombrero," because I was wearing a normal hat.
Yeah.
And if that is not enough, you need big shade.
Yeah.
Okay, they give me some advice to be better and better. And there's this memory that I had. We were working. It was maybe 1 p.m. The sun was super warm, hitting us on our head. I was working there. I was tired, but I was working, looking at people, all Mexicans in the vineyard. There was one guy with a speaker, and then one song started playing, and then one of the guys said to the other guys "Hey, say that you want to put that song to your wife," because his wife was working in the vineyards.
Okay.
And then the guy was like, "Hey, mi chula, my lady, this song is for you." And he started singing the song for his wife in the vineyard working. And all the guy was like, "Woo, woo," and we started singing the song with them, and we were
I can imagine you now dancing in the vineyard with the song.
I was not dancing, but I was singing, working, all together, making fun of that, enjoying the day. And it was man, it's hard, but that feeling, I would change it for nothing.
Exactly.
That you're really close also with the workers in your vineyards? Or how
It depends. It depends. Usually the workers are foreign workers, not from Lebanon.
Okay.
Mainly from Syria.
Okay.
They are good workers, hard workers. I like them.
Nice.
Honestly, and we were not super close to each other, but maybe I had some friends from foreign friends from there. They were very good in war, very good in everything. You can give them a very hard task and they can do it.
Nice.
I like them. I like this kind of workers.
Yeah, that they're willing to.
Responsible, and they can go for it. Even if this vineyard is not their vineyard, they will take care of it as it is their vineyard.
That's nice.
So I like this kind of workers. Maybe not your case, because you are all Mexican.
Yeah.
And you're sharing the same culture and all these things, but it depends. Yeah.
It depends.
Depends on the worker, and yeah.
For me, that's also a fun fact. When we were in Spain, in Corpinat, we were talking with the owner of the vineyard, and he was like, "All my workers are foreign too." You know which country they hire people in Spain?
Mexican?
No.
Catalan?
No. From Romania.
Romania. Wow.
Yeah. So they bring all the people from Romania to work in the vineyards like seasonal workers. The US bring Mexicans for season, and then Lebanon, Syrians. From agriculture, I think, because it's actually a hard work, and it's only for season.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I don't know, Mexicans do in the US, they start in the north harvesting and they're going south.
Yeah.
And they work for 6 months and then go 6 months to Mexico.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And it's interesting the rotation of people and crops. Yeah. And now Emile,
I thought because in Spain, mostly the Catalan they work in this, like they take these hard task, like this hard task.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that the Romanian from Romania to Spain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think also they make more money in Spain.
Okay.
So for them, I think it's like they can harvest a little bit in Romania, but they need to have another work.
Okay.
And if they come to Spain, maybe they work only for 4 months and they can rest for 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's about like money. Yeah, it's the same like euro, but I think it's euro in Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know if it's in the European Union.
I don't know.
But maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just more like money wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Emile, France, you're going home in a week.
Yeah.
Almost. Are you excited?
1 week.
Yeah.
Very excited.
What is gonna be the first thing you do when you get to Lebanon?
That's a good question. I don't have a plan, honestly.
No.
I'm just going, and like I will stay in Beirut for the first day, just like because I will arrive late, and the next day I'm going directly to the village.
Okay.
I have to visit the monastery. I have to visit my friends from the university. I have a friend in the north. I have a friend in the south. But
Okay.
maybe I will see them all in the capital, Beirut.
Okay.
I'm very excited because it's been a while. I miss the food. I miss my mother and my mother's food.
You don't miss your dad?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I miss him. I'm gonna help him in the vineyards because he had a lot of tasks he should do now.
Uh-huh.
We have wine vintage. We have to bottle the wine from
Nice.
the tanks. That's it.
So it's not
We'll
gonna be
see.
vacation for you.
For me, working with my dad is a vacation.
Nice. Hi, beautiful people that are watching and enjoying this podcast. In order to bring more content like this, I will ask you for 3 favors. The first one is to like the videos. Second one is to follow and subscribe the channel. And the third one is to share and talk to your friends about this amazing content you're following. So I love you so much and keep enjoying the podcast. Cheers.
I'm really proud of my dad. He's doing a very good job. He's doing a lot of things for us, for me, for my brother, for my sisters, and yeah, I'm really excited to see my brother, my sister. I have a sister in Qatar.
Nice.
I don't know if I will see her, but she will try to come to Lebanon. So
That's amazing. You're gonna be for a month or
1 month, yeah.
1 month?
Yeah,
Okay.
4 or 5 weeks.
Nice. And then
So-
Limo, no?
After that, Limo.
Limo.
Directly to Limo. I'm more excited to the internship more than
Okay.
Lebanon.
Really?
I don't know why.
Okay. I think it's because this is gonna be your first time working in France.
Yeah,
You get-
and I like this winery, honestly.
Okay.
I really like it. I'm very interested in sparkling wine,
Okay.
as you know. I want to focus in this part of the wine industry, the wine world.
Yeah. Now getting into the wine world, as
Yeah.
you say, I think I'm also really excited for the internship.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people from our class are also excited because after a whole year, we've been like 10 months in school, in classes, learning. We are eager to put that learning into practice.
Yeah.
It's time. And I feel I'm also super excited to actually see what's happening and understanding like, oh, this happening because doesn't have a lot of nitrogen. Oh, so we need to do this, and how's the vineyard and the maturation. Oh, the SO2 here is low.
You remember from the study trip we had to Champagne and
Uh-huh.
Burgundy. Every time we stop like beside the vineyard and we see like some yellow leaves or something like that,
Everywhere.
we run to the vineyard and we start like, what is that? What is that virus? What is this
Exactly.
deficiency? And what's happening here? Are you spraying? Are you not spraying? And yeah,
So you're gonna put all that knowledge into practice in Limo.
yeah,
Then you're gonna have to do your thesis and to finish your studies in Italy.
yeah,
And then after Italy, you're gonna take all this knowledge, all this experience. And I heard there's this winery in Lebanon called Domaine de Pierre
Mhm.
that is hiding for enology. Yes, have you
Yeah.
heard about that
Of
winery?
course,
Yes.
this is our winery.
Okay.
So this is like Domaine de Pierre. Pierre is my father.
Uh-huh.
That's the name of my father. He started this winery like even my grandfather started doing wine since 1991
Uh-huh.
or maybe before, and then my father was like, okay, I can do also wine. He started doing like small vintages, like 200, 300 bottles, and there's a period like a gap, let's say a gap between 2005 to 2010 or 2015. He stopped doing wine.
Okay.
And in 2015 he started doing again wine, or 2014 he started doing wine again and again. He started producing more. I told you, he had a vineyard which is Cabernet Sauvignon in the
Yeah.
high
The
mountains.
no?
Yeah. He was like, okay, I want to try to do some wines from table grapes.
Okay.
So, you know, in table grapes, when you finish harvesting, you'll still have some grapes in the vines.
Yeah.
Maybe like not a good quality for
Okay.
exporting them. So you harvest them, you crush them, and you do fermentation for them, and you use them for wine.
Okay.
And usually we have a black variety for table grapes. We do wine from it.
What's the name of the grape?
It's a chili.
Chili.
It's called chili,
Chili.
and also they call it blackberry.
Blackberry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very
Chili.
interesting. I think it's only for table grapes, but doing it a wine is also interesting.
Okay.
But it's like the only challenging is the berry. It's very big, which is not good for wine.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I tried the wine. It's not bad, but it's only wine.
Yeah,
It's not a
like
complex
base,
wine.
Exactly.
It's not a complex wine, and you can drink it, but it's not something that you can be like a classical wine from this winery and it describe this region, it describe this terroir or something like that.
Okay.
So I told him like, let's go for the normal varieties, international varieties, only for grapevine, for wine.
Yeah.
And let's just like, okay, the grapes and the vines for table grapes, let's just keep them, because I will go for another thing that is called arak.
The Arak, okay.
So the arak, like it's it's anise flavored alcoholic beverage. We do it from grapes, from over matured grapes.
Don't tell me it's Obeidi.
You can use Obeidi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. You have a good memory.
Yeah,
Obeidi and Mirweh.
yeah.
These two varieties are two local varieties from Lebanon,
Uh-huh.
and now the trend in Lebanon, like they are using them for wine, for white wine. They are very good wines, very good varieties. You will have a very complex wine from them, especially when you do a bottle of a blend between these two varieties. But before that, people used to take these grapes and do the arak, which is a alcoholic beverage. It's anise
Distilled,
flavored.
yeah.
So if you wanna know more about the process, so they harvest the grape, the over matured grape, and then they crush them, they ferment them without any protection, no need for protection, even if it's vinegar after,
Okay.
you can just keep them. You ferment them for 1 month, 2 months, and then you need a distillery.
Okay.
You put all the must in the distillery and you distill them, and then you have the first product, which is ethanol, and then you take the ethanol again and then you put it again in the distillery, you add anise to it,
Yeah.
you distill it, and then you have the final product, which is the arak,
Yeah.
which is a typical Lebanese beverage, alcoholic beverage.
You guys are making Arak in your.
Yeah, we have a
Okay.
distillery in our farm
Nice.
also. But we don't use like, for now we don't use the Obaidi and Mirweh because we
Yeah.
don't have these two varieties in our farms. But after the harvest of table grapes, you will see that there's some grapes still in the vines, in the trees, over matured, because you already finished the harvest for table grapes and you just forgot the grapes in the vines,
Yeah.
and then you come back after 15, 20 days,
You can do
over
Arak.
matured. You harvest them, because they are like very sweet now.
Yeah, yeah.
You harvest them and you use them for arak.
Nice.
But now, like, if you wanna go for a good arak, you have to harvest white grapes. Why?
Oh,
Because they are more sweet,
Mm.
more sweetness, more sugar, more alcohol.
Yeah. Also, I really like how your farm is like developed, because you have a lot of stuff. It's like not only like the table grapes.
Yeah.
You have wine. You have the arak. You told me your mom is the most delicious yogurt in the
Yep.
whole Lebanon.
Because
Yeah.
we also have a farm of sheep and goats.
Uh-huh.
Of course, they produce milk,
Uh-huh.
and my mother always, like, in the summer, take them milk, and
Yeah.
she do not only yogurt, a lot of things like labne. You tried the labne,
I think.
not the Lebanese one, but maybe it's
Okay,
like a
this
Greek,
one, no?
it's like
Okay,
a
the
Greek
labne,
yogurt.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the Greek yogurt,
Uh-huh.
and also the kishik.
Kishik.
You remember the bread was the dried yogurt?
Yes, yeah, that's really
At
good.
Anna's place.
Uh-huh.
That's also, and a lot of things from milk
Yeah.
from our farm.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Yeah, you have also like a lot of fruit trees. Yeah, so
fruit trees, apples, vegetables,
wow,
watermelon,
amazing, bro.
a lot of vegetables, tomato, eggplants, cucumber, peppers, table grapes, wine,
It's a paradise,
a lot
bro.
of things.
Yeah, it's a paradise. And for me also, a really good experience of the master is to learn more about you guys' cultures, Lebanese. And I was a little bit shocking when I discovered that when I read about Jesus and his first miracle, I was like super curious, because for me it was like, okay, Jesus' first miracle was in a wedding, like in a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
It was because Virgin Mary, his mother, told him to do this miracle, and it was to turn water into wine for the people,
Yeah,
and it's in Cana.
kinda.
Cana. So when I was in the school and they told me about this and the church and read, I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I realized that Cana, it's in Lebanon.
Yeah, Kana is a small village in the south of Lebanon,
Uh-huh.
and the place that where Jesus transformed the water into wine
Yes.
during the wedding.
Yeah, so for me it's like, wow, like that region, we're talking like in Jesus' time, like 2,000 years ago, there was this culture of wine
Yeah.
in Lebanon, and people, when they think about wine, at least in Mexico and the US, is like,
France.
no, France,
Spain,
Italy, of course, yeah. But all that area in the Mediterranean, it's so rich in culture. Even like Georgia.
The only reason is that, okay, we know that we have two, the wine world is divided.
Uh-huh.
The old world, which is France, Spain, Italy,
Europe, uh-huh.
and you have the new world,
Uh-huh.
which is Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, US, and
Australia,
Chile.
Mm-hmm.
And also before these two, you have the ancient world.
That is.
That is Lebanon, Palestine, Turkey, Georgia, Iran, like this region, which is the Middle East. This was the first region for like producing wine
Wow.
since 8,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why it's like not surprising to see that like the place of like this village in the south of Lebanon was 2,000 years ago. The wine started 8,000 years ago.
Yeah.
That's at least.
Yeah.
No one's know like the exact number, but now it's 8,000, back to 8,000 because
Yeah.
they discovered it in Georgia.
Yeah, also I was like, I'm going to Corsica for the stage,
Yeah,
for the internship, and I was reading a history about Kos Island and everything, and they say like the first people who settled there were Phoenicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they brought vines. And if you try like Phoenicians, Cyprus, Lebanon, Tunisia, all that area like of commerce, the vine was in their culture.
Yeah. I know a story that the Phoenicians, they used to take the wine, export the wine from the Middle East in the ships
Mm-hmm.
to Spain, Italy, France, and Corsica, and all these islands. But they used to put like olive oil on the top of the tank
Yeah,
as
so
a
it's
layer to
called
protect
yeah.
the wine.
Uh-huh.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's called
So they used to ship the wine from the Middle East, Lebanon, Palestine,
yeah.
like the Turkey, and then go to the to France,
Yeah.
so on.
Super interesting
Yeah,
the story.
yeah.
And now, I mean, this we're talking about the tradition at the past of wines from Lebanon.
Yeah.
What about the future? What is it coming for the Lebanese wine industry? What can you see?
So if we wanna go back for the two local varieties we were talking about, Abaidi and Mirweh, some wineries now they are doing wines from this varieties. There's a winery called Chateau Saint Thomas. They have a bottle of wine which is 100% Abaidi, and you have Chateau Ksara which they have also 100% Mirweh,
Okay.
and you have another wineries they do a blend of these two varieties. So people are now going more to the local varieties. You will see that now we have like around 86 winery in Lebanon, and it's increasing.
Nice.
And in 3-4 years it will be, if it stopped in 86 it will be 87, because I will
That is like a crazy trend. No, in Europe we can see that the consumption.
so in Europe you see the consumption, like the consumption of wine is going down.
Yeah.
Maybe in Lebanon it's still constant, but I mean by the trend, like people that are doing wine, it's increasing in Lebanon.
Okay.
People are planting new vineyards, increasing. People are building new chateaus, increasing. Now you can see more wine tasting events,
Nice.
more exhibitions in Lebanon.
Nice.
People are traveling to study wine.
I know a couple of those people.
So I can see that the trend in Lebanon is completely opposite to Europe. Maybe not for the consumption. Consumption in Lebanon is still constant, but people are gaining the knowledge of tasting wine.
Yeah.
Just like about open the wine and drink it. How to taste wine in a professional way.
Yeah.
People are gaining this knowledge. People wants to learn in Lebanon.
Nice.
So you can see that this happening in Lebanon now. People are going up.
Yeah.
The trend is up. I wish like we need to work on this topic. We have to encourage people to consume more wine in Lebanon, especially the young people.
Yeah.
And maybe increasing wine tasting events, increasing exhibitions, encouraging people from in the agriculture schools
Yeah.
to travel, to go to join another masters, exchange masters in wine, learn about wine, and then come back. Because Lebanon is a truly, like, it's a very good land for wine. It's a very good land for agriculture and viticulture. We have a very, like, in the West Bekaa region, which is the famous region for grapevine, and also in the north of Lebanon. Not only for grapevines, also olive oil, which is the. Tell me,
I heard that.
what did you heard about oils in Lebanon?
I was in Paris.
Especially in our region.
Yeah, I was in Paris and I had the opportunity to meet Anna's family.
Okay.
And we went to have like lunch together. And his dad told me, "Have you ever had olive oil from Lebanon?" And I was like, "No, why?" "Oh, sorry for you because you never tried the best olive oil in the world."
Exactly.
And I was like, that's what all the Greeks say to me. I have some Greek friend and he told me, "Oh, the olive oil in Greece is the best in the world." And he was like, no. You need to come to Lebanon, try the olive oil, blind, and put it together, and you will see. And I'm not gonna tell you more. I know it's the best olive oil in the world. Like that.
I also can guarantee this thing, because he's not just saying that, okay, we have the best olive oil in the world just to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about like just talking about it. It's truly right. You have to try the olive oil, especially from our region. I'm not talking about all Lebanon, especially from our region, because if you go from the south to the north and you try the olive oil in the south or in our region, and you go to the north, it's very different.
Wow. Okay.
Very completely different. So you have to try the olive oil in our
Yeah,
region.
I'm going. You know that. Okay. Yeah.
And you will see. It's not just like, okay, it's the best olive oil in the world. No, it's truly that.
Yeah, it's words with actions, with the product itself. And Emile, now to start like closing this podcast, what is your goal with this master? going back to Domaine de Pierre, keeping your project of Milagri.
Yeah.
What is your expectations?
So until now, like I'm still confused about should I stay after the masters in Europe or should I go back? My plan now is to go back just directly after the masters and to start like planning to plant new vineyards, introducing the varieties from maybe not the French varieties or the international, maybe more the Mediterranean varieties. It can be French, it can be Greek, it can be Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Even
I
like South Italy.
Yeah, I need the Mediterranean varieties.
Okay.
For example, Mouzac from Limoux.
Okay.
Very interesting variety. Assyrtiko from Greece.
Okay.
A lot of varieties from Spain because Spain is more close to our climate, especially in the south.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the plan, to start figuring out how I can plant new varieties, Mediterranean varieties in our region, because we, as we said, we are more into table grapes.
Yeah.
So we need lands for that. We need high mountains. We need, especially for sparkling wine, for example.
Yeah.
And then I have to improve the winery of my father. I have to work on it. We have to start exporting our wine, find a good market for our wine, do some blends, do some wine tasting in our village, in our region, like just to put ourselves in the exposure.
It's an exciting project,
for the wine
man.
industry. Yeah.
It's a so exciting project.
This is the plan now, but I'm not sure about staying here or going back because I'm also interested in this country, especially France. I need maybe I will stay for my PhD if I'm planning to do it, or maybe to work in a winery here.
Don't forget, we need to do the collaboration in Lebanon.
Yeah.
So when I go, you need to already be there.
Yeah.
Or if I'm your friends, I'm gonna call you and say, Habibi, come to Lebanon.
I'm going. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You had a lot of Habibi come to Lebanon this year.
Yes, yeah. Emile, to close it, I'm gonna tell the people who follow us on Instagram or YouTube to follow also Emile Agri on Instagram. To keep really. Also, you have the Instagram from the Domaine de Pierre.
Yeah, Domaine de Pierre and Emile Agri.
Domaine de Pierre, Emile Agri. Also, to make a research about the wine history in Lebanon, more about the country, because it's a real gem that when you discover that, you will see how rich is the country.
Yeah.
And when you know people from that country, you will see how warm, how friendly they are. And they say hi to your friends. They say to all the people in Montpellier, all the people in Lebanon.
And also, I want to say something in Arabic for the people.
Please.
Of my country. So خوان كارلوس عم يعمل بروجكت كتير حلوة. عنده channel على يوتيوب اسمها واين روتس. الكل يفوت يعمل له فولو، تابعوه وعملوا له فولو على انستغرام. البودكاست تبعه كتير 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 حلوين، واذا بتقعدوا بتركزوا فيهم شوي. هلا احضروا تبع الانجليش، اللي ما بيعرف يحكي اسبانيش او ما بيفهم اسبانيش روحوا ركزوا على البودكاست بالانجليش بس. بليز فوتوا لعنده، تابعوه، عملوا له فولو. كتير حلو البروجكت اللي عم بيعمله، وان شاء الله كلكم رح تشوفوه بلبنان قريبا.
عن جد؟
عن جد.
شكرا إميل.
You're learning so fast.
Of course.
I want to thank you for having me on your podcast, and we will see each other in Lebanon.
No, for sure. إن شاء الله خير.
إن شاء الله خير.
Bye bye guys.